Monday, it's actually Thursday, and that's someone else's intro. So yeah, today Frogcat and I are I don't know how to say that. Frogcat and I are following a Bob Ross tutorial, however we are doing it digital art style. There we go, I got it that time. You do not want to know how many takes that took. We are doing season 13, episode 13, The Lost Lake. So if you want to, you know, join in with me, please do. Or just watch, you know, grab some popcorn. I don't know, this could be fun, this could be interesting. Who knows? For my digital thing that I'm using, I'm going to be using Procreate. And I'm just doing an A4 canvas. His is, I don't know what size. And YouTube's not going to really like this A4 size. But you know what? I don't care, okay? We're just gonna go with it. But anyway, we're just gonna start. We're gonna listen to his intro. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna make lots of happy little mistakes, but it's fine. It's digital art. I can easily fix it. So let's get right on into it.
You're ready to do a fantastic little cake. Super. We have our standard old canvas up here. It has liquid white all over it, and it's ready to go. So let's do the same thing. 2-inch brush, and go into the smallest little amount of alizarin crimson. Just a little bit. Now maybe today we'll have a little pink in the sky. Just a small amount. And the crimson is continually blending with the liquid white, and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter.
Alrighty. So he's starting off with alizarin. Yep, okay. I think that's it. And I'm probably mostly going to stay in the airbrushing brushes. I'm just going to start with this soft airbrush. Since the liquid white is blending out the paint on his, I'm going to turn the opacity down a little bit. And we're just going to start wee.
Small amount of thin is probably 100 times stronger than the crimson. There we go.
Because his paint is obviously oils and everything smudges together, I'm going to use a smudge brush, and I'm going to use that same soft airbrush, and we're just going to do a little smudgy smudge.
Brush. Shake off the excess. And maybe we'll have some water in here. I don't know what it's going to be. Add a little black to that so it's darker.
Okay, water time. So he's using pretty much the same blue, just it's less diluted by, I'm assuming, the liquid white. It's going to make it a little bit darker, and I'm going to continue using this soft airbrush, and I'm just going to make it bigger, and we're just going to go. And he's leaving a little bit of a space. He's adding black to his. However, since we have the opacity down on this airbrush, I can just turn the opacity up and go in a little bit. I might even actually make the color darker just so it's not necessarily the same blue.
Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Maybe today, let's do a mountain. Let's do a mountain. We'll take some black and some blue. We'll take a little others from crimson. And some Van Dyke brown. Just make it a good dark color. Now then, you have to make a big decision. Where does your mountain live? In your world? You decide. Maybe there's a peak there. Get a little paint. Maybe this comes out. See, and just push it very firmly. And put your mountain where you want it.
Wherever I want it. How about not on the page? I'm really not liking mountains. That's okay though. So I'm going to use a different layer. So I'm going to create a new layer, and he's got a really dark color, which is a little on the purple side. But mostly blue, just because, you know, he added the brown and the reddy pink. I'm going to use the hard airbrush because this is a solid structure. It's not like wispy clouds or anything. We're gonna have the opacity all the way up on that, and we're gonna just decrease the brush size so I can get the outline, and then we'll just fill it in.
So with the color, we're going to pull off this mountain. Watch here. We'll just go right back here. Just take the brush. Tap the indication. Back in the distance.
Okay, so now he's got that. I think I'm just going to, what's my eraser? I'm going to use a soft brush have that opacity up, and I'm just gonna like erase a little bit in here, just so I can, as you see, pull the colour down with the smudge brush. And then I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, and I'm going to go to the soft brush, turn the opacity down, and here's a distant mountain. So we're going to create that with the soft brush, with the opacity down, with our same colour, and turn that brush size down a little bit. We're going to create a new layer for it. Now that we have that outline, I'm just going to increase the brush size a little bit, go in with a little bit more colour so we have more colour to work with when we're smudging, and just do a little weep weep, a little weep weep, and then we get to do the fun part. We get to use the smudge brush. We're going to have it on that soft brush. We're going to have the opacity down and the brush size down a little bit too, and we're just going to turn the opacity up a little bit, and maybe the brush size I lied. Okay, and we're just going to pull that colour down so we don't have this weird outline kind of thing. And then we're going to go back to that layer on top, and we're going to use the smudge brush, keep it on the soft, keep it on a low opacity, and we're just going to, like he said, pull it down. And we're just going to have to be careful not to get to the edge of our mountain and pull it down, because if we did, it's going to come out of focus, it's going to be blurry, and just to save us the work of having to go in with the brush or with an eraser to make that harsh line. Okay, so now he is taking, blending out his mountain to where we sort of have it. However, I'm not really happy with the mountain, just like judging by his one and his canvas size and everything, our one isn't really doing it for me, so I'm going to obviously be on the mountain layer, and I'm going to go into freeform, and we're just going to distort this a little bit, pull it over like so. Okay, cool. We have our two mountains. I have found a brush. It is in vintage and it is wedge tail. Anyways, I have created a new layer that is on top of this mountain layer here, and he's got the light bouncing off and the light is coming from the right side. So we are going to try and do the same. We're going to have that opacity all the way up, but we will have to turn the brush size down quite a bit, and we'll see what this looks like. He's going to put the dark side of the snow on the mountains on, so I think we will create another layer, and we'll have that layer underneath our white snow that we have at the moment, and he's just creating a little bit of a darker blue. Okay, so by darker I mean like a different colour. Like I said, we have a new layer underneath the white snow, and I've got this grey light blue colour, and we're just going to use that same wedge tail brush, and like you said, go in where the shadows are. Now to fix this per se, we are going to use the smudge brush. Okay, cool, and now we're going to do what we did to the blue, but to the white. A little wee bloop bloop. My mountains kind of look like mountains. I'm not very good at mountains. I really need to work on my mountains, because mountains are cool, but I don't really know how to do them. Let's continue.
Let's take the whole brush today, it's fun.
Okay, foothills time. So I'm going to create a new layer, and he's got a bit of a greeny colour going on. So we're just gonna go like in between our yellow and our green, and because that will create that brown, and also if we go more towards the end bottom of the thing, we'll get a darker colour. Okay, we're going to do two things. We're going to create a base using our medium brush. On this new layer, with the medium brush, opacity all the way up, we're going to turn that brush to about 4%. Now that we have that, in the same layer, take the wet acrylic brush, which you'll find in painting, and I'm just going to go over the top and only on the tops of these foothills. Just create a little bit extra in some places, just so it's not this really soft, seems like it should be in focus but it's not. Cool. And now he's dragging these down, so I think we should try the flat brush, which is in our painting. We use it as the smudge brush, and we're going to pull little blocks of colours down. So we're going to decrease the opacity and increase the brush size because it's so blocky, the brush. We will go over it with another one, and then we will go back to our soft brush and just go over that.
Now same brush, and we'll go back in here. Just have the indication of a few little highlights here and there.
Okay, with the little highlights, we're going to move a little bit more towards the yellow side, and we're going to stay in that same layer, and we're going to use the wet acrylic brush, and like you said, just add little highlights. I reckon we even turn that opacity down just a little bit so we can, because you can always build up if you have low opacity.
Back to my knife. Take a little touch of diagram. Just scrape the indication of a waterline.
Okay, and he's creating a waterline, so I'm going to create a new layer on top of that, and he's using a Van Dyke brown, and we will use the hard airbrush. We'll just try do straightish lines. Cool, now liquid white, staying with that same hard brush, just adding it nicely over where, pretty much where you want it, I suppose.
Take a bunch of color black, Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown, there's some crimson, some sap green, whatever in a big pile of color, and just, we don't have to overmix it, just some like so. Let's build some happy little evergreen trees that we took out with the fan brush. There it is, right here. There's an evergreen, just take the corner of the brush. Back and forth. It's just the indication. It's killing me. Just the indication.
I kinda wish we were covering up the mountains, but that's okay. I mean, we could. So what he's doing is he's creating trees and everything. So, new layer. Let's first get our colour. It is a dark blue green. Use a brush to indicate where I want the beginning to be, because with like evergreens you've got that little wee tip that isn't like nothing on it. So let's put one right here. Let's say we want another one right there. And we'll put another one right there. I would use this inker pen, which is in inking, funny, just because it's got this texture. So if we just zoom in and I turn the opacity down, at least to begin with, and just go slowly in, And once you've got sort of this main part, I like to turn the opacity up just a little bit more. So I would go in like so, doing that zigzag, and when I felt like it I would increase the brush size to make things easier for me. And wow, we have one evergreen tree. And then he's got lots of little wee indications of trees. But before that, I reckon I put the indications of my other two big trees that I want. I reckon to play it safe, because we can, I'm just going to add that other layer to make the little wee trees in here. So he is now covering the water. So what are we going to do? We're going to cover the water too. We're going to merge those two layers together, and we're going to create a new one. Wow, who would have thought? And he's still using that same colour, so we're going to use that same colour. And we are just going to go in with the medium brush. I lie. Let's just use the inker brush. Yeah, we're going to turn that opacity all the way up, increase the brush size a lot, make sure, yep, we're on that new layer, and we're just going to go in and have fun. I might even turn it more of a bluer colour, just so we have a little bit of a difference.
Let's begin putting all kinds of beautiful leaves on these. That's so superb.
Right, it is highlight time. We are coming towards the end. So we want to create a highlight colour. So we are going to be in that green yellow space again and create a nice new colour. And I reckon if we use inker, so if we turn the opacity down just a little bit, we're going to make sure that's a new layer. And we're just going to go in lightly, and we will have it, I'll increase that opacity just a little bit, and just where highlights would be. Doesn't need to be perfect, clearly. Okay, so he's creating grassy plains, and I've just done that with the inker. I've put indications going down. It doesn't look too flash, but that is because we are going to our smudge tool. What is the smudge tool? It is the round brush, that's cool. And we're just going to smudge this, especially the background. Oh, I really like that. Wow, okay, I'm so smart. Now he is creating a little path, so we're going to create a new layer. It's going to be more of a brown colour. He's in Van Dyke brown, so we're going to go in that yellow and brown area, and we are going to use the inker brush again. I reckon if we do in the middle around here, because we already have that dip. And now he's also going to be using some white, and that's going to mix with the brown. So if we create a new layer and we put mask on, oh whoops, no, not mask, clipping mask, just so it's going to stay on the brown that we already have, and we're just going to add little indications of a highlight to this path.
Take Van Dyke brown and fan brush, a lot of paint. Let's go right up here, maybe. So here we go. This is your way to retest. Right through there. We'll put a heavy tree trunk.
I thought we were almost finished. Trees? Are you serious? Oh God. Okay, I really wish they were going to cover the mountain because I really don't like the mountain, but it's okay. Anyways, we're going to create a new layer again, and we're going to, it will be like a greeny browny colour. We're going to be brave, like you said, and we're going to use the inker brush still because it's got that nice pressure to it. He's starting from the top and going down. You can do that if you want. However, I feel like it's easier for me to start from the bottom and go up just with the pressure gradient of the brush. It's easier for me personally to go like that. And to do that, I'm also going to flip the canvas upside down. Not because I'm lazy or anything, but he's adding trees and stones, like trees. He's adding leaves to his trees and stones and stuff. I think I'm okay, really. Definitely not being lazy at all. Anyways, reflection time. It was fun, however, a lot harder than my last video on doing a Bob Ross tutorial but make it digital art. I hope you enjoyed. My mountains need a lot of work. I mean, you've seen them, right? They're not fun, but it's okay. I think next time I would use the inker brush. We're just going to use the inker brush for everything now. Because there's like this artist called Philip Sue who has these textures for his mountains and everything, and I tried it before to see what it would look like. I need practice, of course, but it looked a lot better than what I have now. That's cool. That's fun. Good to know for next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun. I like Bob Ross. I like Bob Ross a lot, and if you don't, well... No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I had fun. I hope you did too. But yes, that is the end of the video. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you all have a good day or a good night. Till next time.